Something's happened.
What do you mean?
It's not showing live through the screen anymore. Here comes the fifth one.
Okay, as you can see it.
Okay, folks, are we live?
You can't see comments for viewers.
No, we can't see comments from viewers. I'm just going to talk in the meantime in case we are live.
It's a black screen there.
From his side.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
So now that we can see it on the screen on our side, so I don't know why it's not coming through. So now that we can see it on the screen on our side, so I don't know why it's not coming through. There's no other setting.
Oh, you know what? There is a setting that I changed to the other day. Like, if in time, a few more, and we have seen these sometimes four of them. There are 14 lines in total, and here we have 5. I wonder if we need to add a screen.
The comments coming through, but we can't see them.
Okay. Folks, we are testing this currently on YouTube. So trying to figure out we can see your comments so we can read them. So please just be patient with us.
I think on mine there was like you go out of this.
Okay, let's go out of this. Oh, all the way out. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I think that's going to make it look at us. We don't want that.
So on mine there was a thing there where it said comments like enable chat or disable chat, and it was in that bottom left corner.
In the bottom left corner. Yeah. Let's go to settings. Now you're saying enable disconnect protection. Stream to Twitch custom. Draw on chat. Okay, and see if this works. Okay, still no chats. Setting. Maybe it's in advanced, but I feel like that's out of our league there. Chat positioning is on.
Yeah, I think this might be the only way to open it up on.
Okay. There must be a way, huh?
If you turn it to
No. Maybe someone can hear my voice. Maybe someone in the comments section there can help out, because we have comments open on another phone now, but we just can't get it out. So maybe you guys can tell her to get these comments on screen here if anybody knows. We are trying to communicate with you.
Let me have a look quickly.
Okay, Pitt's going to take over here. I'm just going to zoom out a bit. There you go, Pitt.
So your Wi-Fi is on, eh?
No, it's running off of cellular data. The dove says the picture is super clear. Okay, so right. So I'm just going to read through these comments as they come. Can hear and see now. Yes, that's good. You have glasses. Peach does have glasses. He does indeed. I don't know if his glasses were on when he was trying to switch on the comment section on the phone. Guys, we're currently at that. The separate phone's battery might die.
Very soon.
Yeah, so our apologies for that. Can you grab one by the tail, please? That would be a terrible idea. Is this the Kambula Pride? No, this is not the Kambula Pride. This is not the full complement of the Torchwood Pride. There are 5 members here. So the Torchwood Pride spends a lot of time in the north of the reserve. However, these 5 lions are in the heart of the Kambula Pride's territory. So if the Kambula Pride were to find them here, there would be fireworks. They would certainly chase them out of the territory and probably even try and kill these lions that we see in front of us. So there's one male in this pride, and he is currently in frame. He is the lion that is lying furthest from us. He's still a young male. looks like, I don't know how many.
Gareth Power.
Go Gareth.
What's the situation with those lines?
They're all still lying down out in the open there. Gareth, if you decide to come out, please can you bring a cable? We have a power bank with us, but a cable to fit into the power bank
For an iPhone.
for an iPhone.
It's in my jacket pocket in the Rangers room.
Gareth, it's in Pete's jacket pocket in the Rangers room. I just want to share that live as well. Pete forgot the cable. Why do they attack you? I think that is supposed to mean, or I think you're supposed to say, why are they not attacking us? I'm assuming that's what you're saying there.
Maybe. Yeah, sorry.
Abdullah, these lions. Do you want to switch here?
No, just so they can hear you.
Oh, okay. Abdullah, these lions are very used to our presence. We do see a lot of our predators almost on a daily basis, and we drive in a very particular manner around them. Most of these lions have grown up with us around them, so they are very relaxed with our presence. If we were to get out of the vehicle, it would be a different story altogether. They know exactly how this vehicle behaves, they know exactly how this vehicle will approach them, they know we're not a threat, but they are not used to us on foot. So as long as we're in the vehicle, we are safe. Someone says go over and pet them. Yeah, so as long as we're in the vehicle, we are safe. Are the Birminghams with them? No, they are not. We refer to the Birmingham males as the Gowrie males, and the Gowrie males we saw just a couple of days ago.
No, yes, this morning.
Oh, this morning. Pardon
Well,
me.
this morning they were close to Rat Race Camp.
Okay, yeah, pardon me. I've been cooped up in the office, so I'm a little bit unfamiliar with the movements of these cats at the moment, but Pete can talk to that.
So, yeah, two of the, what you're referring to as the Birmingham males, they were with the rest of the Kambula Pride in the Sand River south of Rat Race Camp yesterday. Yesterday they killed a wildebeest there, and we heard them roaring this morning in the central parts of our reserve. We didn't find them because we found these lines first, and some of these youngsters, they are actually offspring of the Birmingham boys, or the Gowrie males as we call them.
So there's a question here: has anyone ever been attacked on a vehicle? That's Mark Gray asking the question. Not go area reserves in Africa almost on a daily, actually, except for at the moment. But I've never heard of any cats attacking anyone in a vehicle. Period started because we've been very busy this side, but we currently have no guests, so we are spending all of our time trying to bring the bush to all of you out there that are also in lockdown, and we are doing live feeds like we're doing at the moment, and we have started filming more polished versions of the sightings we see, which you can find on our YouTube channel. If you just go to Mala Mala website or Mala Mala Facebook page, you will find our YouTube channel link, and then we have started a series called Rangers in Isolation. Now we are not only filming because we do have to maintain the property, and we do have to get involved with all sorts of other tasks. So there's a skeleton staff here at the moment. So we are just mucking in wherever we can to get whatever needs to be done. We are a lot of interesting happen behind the scenes, and we are trying to film that and put it on our YouTube channel for all of you to see. What pardon me, what part of Mala Mala is this? North near Mlawati? Steph?
Steph, I can show you.
Yeah, so we've got a map here. There we go.
So Steph, I don't know if you can see, so that is a map of Mala Mala Game Reserve. What was the question?
Where are we? Are we close to the Mlawati?
Yeah, so this is our main camp here, and that's the Mlawati River going up. We are currently just over here, just to the south of Piccadilly Triangle, which is that area there. You can see Campbell Koppies up here. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, so we're basically just outside of camp. Yes. Steph says yes, it helps. Okay, there's another question here. Which park is bigger? Wait. Well, Kruger is certainly
By far.
by far the largest. So the Sabi Sands, we are pretty much wedged between the Sabi Sands Game Reserve and the Kruger National Park. So we don't share, or we don't have a fence on any of our boundaries, which is brilliant. And of most of the private game reserves in this area, we are the largest. Kruger National Park is a public game, and I stand to be correct. Hey, just a shout out to Nadav, who's been helping us through our teething process. We are rangers after all, and technology is probably not the strongest point. And Nadav, who is started Kruger Sightings, latest Kruger Sightings, has been helping us along the way, and we are streaming on Nadav's channel. So just a shout out to Nadav. Thanks for all your help, Nadav. We appreciate it, and I know it must be frustrating for you dealing with some of the older boys. You see Pete's going a bit grey. He's just outside of that millennial phase. So we're not as sharp on the tech. Can you upload this map in your website? It did very interesting to learn about the different areas in your state. Steph, if you follow our YouTube channel, if you go and have a look at our Ranges in Isolation series, we are going to try and cover the property because we've got some really interesting parts to this property. And we are going to be starting to cover the different areas throughout our Ranges in Isolation series. But there are pretty simple maps on the internet. You're welcome to go to look there.
It'll come up with not a detailed map, because that might aid rhino poachers.
So here is a question: have you ever caught any poachers? So they're best to protect the rhinos here, and so are we. So yeah,
for security reasons we can't.
Yeah, so unfortunately you can't comment too much on Pride. Thank you for streaming. You're welcome. Someone says Freddy Krueger. Okay, so Steph, I hope we've answered your question about having a detailed map. We prefer not to have it readily available, just for security reasons. The Dove, thank you. Kruger Sightings is commenting there. We are streaming live on Kruger Sightings, and yeah, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for your help again. Streamers, you know, it's just so nice for us to share this with people, and it's always a pleasure to share it with people in the flesh, because it is special to be out here amongst these awesome animals, and we're just hoping to bring it to your living rooms. But it certainly is more personal and probably a lot more exciting in person. So we hope to see you guys come visit us one day. Are endangered animal species populations growing over the past few years? I think it depends on what species you're talking about. There are projects that are working very hard to save and increase the numbers of endangered animals. But I think all in all, most populations are on the decrease.
We were recently in the news of a very slight increase in the number of black rhinos. But I think if you look in the context of rhinos in general, the number is still concerning.
Do you guys know Rob the Ranger? He seems awesome like you guys. Yes,
I'm sure we're not as awesome as Rob the Ranger.
Yeah.
He sounds cool.
Rob, shout out to you. We do not, I don't know if we know you. Maybe it's Robin Hester, I don't know.
Nah, no, maybe.
If it's Robin Hester, we do know him. He's pretty awesome, but we're not quite sure. Would be cool to see a wild hog pass by unnoticed the lions. Yeah, that would be quite exciting. The closest thing we have to a wild hog is a warthog. We do have bush pigs as well. I guess that's even closer. But bush pigs are very rare in this area. Traveling to Africa is a bit of a journey, but there's nothing like it. We agree. We agree. Come and visit. It's too long a flight from Texas. We get many, many people that come and visit us from Texas.
Plenty.
You can just hitch a ride of them.
So Gareth and myself will probably just have to keep on talking a bit of nonsense as we wait for these lions to hopefully get active. It was looking good about half an hour ago, and at least two of them were starting to sit up and groom themselves, which is always a good sign that they're about to get going. But as you can see, they've all gone back to sleep.
So I'm just going to answer a few questions. Yes, Steph, this is not the Kambula Pride. These are members of the Torchwood Pride, but they are in the heart of the Kambula Pride's territory. So if the Kambula Pride finds them here, they're going to be in trouble. The Dove, it would be nice to have you here. You could show us how to turn the comments on our YouTube channel viewer here. No, I don't know anybody called Boyd to Coldwater Canyon. We have one male in front of us. He's still young. There are 14 lions in this pride. It's the Torchwood Pride. And
5-1 standing by.
we can just see the 5 of them currently. They have been operating separately
5-1 go.
from the rest of the pride.
Okay. Gareth, when you come back to camp, will you please just leave the cruiser boom open and then lock river boom and anchor boom? Sorry.
So yeah, these look like they're starting to break away from the rest of the pride, and that may be because they are struggling to catch animals,
3 standing by from 0 now.
or catch enough smaller animals, or catch prey large enough to feed the entire pride. So they might find that it's just a little bit easier to go off by themselves and hunt, and not have to share with the other 9 lions. Okay. Will lions or tigers attack if a human gets too close or tries to be friendly? Yeah, every single animal out here, including humans, actually have a fight or flight region around them. It's where animals feel comfortable with you. If you get within their space, they will either run away or they might attack. Now, the fight, flight, or any within the species, depending on their experiences. So if they've had poor experiences with humans or vehicles, they might be more skittish and have a larger fight or flight area from a vehicle. The lions in this area and most of the cats in this area and the predators in this area are very used to vehicles, so they get right up close to the vehicles. If you have a look on our YouTube channel, you actually see just about the whole Kambula pride sleeping in the shade of Pete's car just a couple of weeks ago. It's quite a cool video. I'd recommend you go check it out. And that's how comfortable they are around us. We're not going to test it.
It's funny how it doesn't look like.
How many hours does the young lion sleep? So they aren't on a specific sleep schedule like us humans, and they sleep whenever they need to conserve their energy, very often during the heat of the day, very often during the daytime, but usually when it's cool like this they tend to be a little bit more active during the day. They're certainly a lot more active at night. Hello from Canada. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's on the ceiling window.
Louis Villa, can you keep going? My star sign is fishes. It's my favorite animal. And I can prepare them in the oven, on a pan, or on a barbecue. Sheesh. Wow. This is quite entertaining for us too, I must say. How the lions actively start to make a noise of the horn of your car. Have you ever tried it? So, the funny thing about a Land Rover, which we are driving, is that the horn is on the indicator lever. So, on the way, and we basically get away from anything that's man-made. But we've had to disconnect all the horns in our Land Rovers because just, while we're driving by accident, we will hoot the horn. And so it gives the ranger more of a fright than anything else. But yeah, we've disconnected all. White rhinos. There are white rhinos around here. Unfortunately, they are heavily persecuted. We won't be filming them. It's just the current state of of affairs at the moment. Poaching is big all over the world. I think in any natural area, and particularly so in poorer areas like Africa, where there are mouths to feed. So yeah, we do our best to try and protect them, but we won't be filming them. Okay, here's a good question for you, Pete. I'm going to put Pete on the spot here with this one. So, Smiles, what's the biggest misconception about lions?
I will answer that in a moment.
Okay, our trusty steed, Gareth Nuttall Smith, has just arrived on the scene to the stream. Right. Okay, thanks. It takes two of us to figure this out. Okay, so Gareth has just come to help us with some cables here. Oh, and he's got a charger that plugs into the vehicle. That's smart.
Are you live?
We are live.
Okay.
Thanks, Gareth.
Do you reckon this car charger works?
The male with him.
Yeah, all five of the young.
Mull over it a little bit more, but I think people think that lions, if you had to be any animal out here, your safest bet is to be a lion, but that is far from the truth.
Elephant.
Yeah, if you want to, very few lions actually survive or make it to adulthood. Okay, so
Charging.
yeah, it's charging. So here's a question. Pete's still going to think about what is the biggest misconception.
I've got my answer.
Okay, Pete's got his answer about the lions.
So other than them being the misconception that they are the king of the jungle, the other one is often people seem to think that male lions live this luxurious king of the beasts, lazy lifestyle. They don't do anything. But if you had to take a closer look at a male lion's face, especially a male in his prime or an older male, the scars etched on his face will tell you a different story. So the lion here lying furthest away from us is a young male. The other four are females, and he has got a very hard road ahead of him. So once he will eventually leave these four females, and he'll have to go off by himself. He'll either ideally find other young male. So that nomadic stage of his will have to try and maintain a low profile because of a picture of his own. That will also be tough. And then once he has his own territory and his own females that come with it, he then has to protect that territory and its inhabitants, his females and their offspring, from any other males that want to take over. So he spends a vast majority of his life fighting to defend his territory. So although male lions aren't directly involved in raising the cubs, their job is to, if they protect their territory, stop other males from coming in, it ensures the cubs stay alive. So yeah, short answer, male lions live a much harder life than people think.
So on average, what is the typical pride's territorial range? So I think that varies greatly from region to region, but we do have another person here, Gareth. Gareth, you are now live and on the spot. How do you want to answer that question?
It depends on the area, sort of the habitat or the environment that they are in. So your desert adapted lions will have far greater territories or home ranges than that of lions in this area, for example, where this is sort of prime habitat for lions. And we think, estimating that the Kambula pride, our largest pride in the area at the moment, has a pride territory of about 200 square kilometers, pretty much the whole size of Mala Mala, and they do go west of our boundary. So that would give you a bit of an example of a territory size in this area.
So why is this a prime territory for lions?
So we've got the Sand River. We've always had a good density of lions across the property of Mala Mala, dating back as early as the hunting days, but the 80s really good records, and we've had lion densities probably above average compared to elsewhere. There's always been prides of around 20 lions at one stage. There used to be the Windmill Pride, and then the Styx Pride, and then the Ifield Pride, and now we've got the Kambula Pride, which have all similar sizes and would range over quite large distance or areas in this area. But you've got the Sand River, which is predominantly it's drawing in animals from Kruger National Park in an east move toward the river, particularly during the dry season when water is so sparse. So you've constantly got different prides of lions and coalitions of lions moving into this area because of the prey densities and movements towards the Sand River.
So just one other thing to remember with that is that pride's territories differ from the territories of the male coalitions. So in this part of South Africa, you generally have a coalition of males who together control a large area and several different prides within their territory. So male lions' territories are often much, much larger than those of individual prides.
Then, Pete, to tie into that question, I've got a question here. When male nomadic lions form coalitions, does one become the dominant?
Yes. And he won't have that title for life. That it's fluid. It's dynamic. It's fluid. It will change. Just because you are the dominant male in your coalition now doesn't mean that you will always be.
So here's a question, Mark Gray. Mala Mala, it's West question mark?
No.
No. Okay.
That's still filming.
Yeah, he's still alive, I think.
The Mapojos are what we call the Mlawati males. And they came from the Eiffel Pride. So the Mapojos were born into the Eiffel Pride, and when they became territorial and dominant, we called them the Mlawati males.
Yeah. What's interesting about that is the Mapojos, the Mlawati males, were nomadic. Yeah, born into one of the prides that were territorial here on Mala Mala. So a lot of people know them. They are probably the 5 most famous male lions, or at least of recent times. We used to see them often. I've got a very memorable sighting of them. Okay.
So ML asking how many times in a year can lionesses be pregnant. So firstly, typically they'll give birth as an average about every 2 years. How many times they can give birth in 1 year, I think will depend greatly on the dynamic of the male coalitions. If there's a lot of power shifts and overthrows, and I'd imagine she could be pregnant up to, technically speaking, up to 4 times in a year. No, more.
Do lions?
If they were, yes.
Do lions kill other big cats?
Yes.
They most certainly do. Yeah, they will kill any other predators if they get the opportunity to, and feel that it's worth spending the energy over to kill them. Steph asking, do we have unpublished photos, videos of the Mapojos? Can you upload them in your site or YouTube channel? Okay. There might be a few floating around.
Let's see if we can find some.
Yeah, I know we've definitely got a few floating around. We just at the moment, if you go onto our YouTube channel, or onto our Instagram page, you'll probably see how we've been burning the midnight oil in trying to edit our videos, and we've got hard drives upon hard drives upon hard drives full of footage and photos, and just trying to stick through it. And yeah.
Mine's not charging, it's at 1%.
So
It might need a power bank.
okay, my power bank is here. There's my power bank.
It should have been charging, but it wasn't. There you go.
Is it charging now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Prince Jonas is asking if we can describe lions as very intelligent and smart animals. There's no real easy way to answer that because it's difficult to measure
Even within humans, it's difficult to measure.
Well, they're definitely smart enough to have survived as long as they have. Yeah. I suppose species that aren't smart will end up going extinct.
Sally S asks, when was the last time we saw the Four Ways Pride? Sally, I don't think we'll be able to remember that off the top of our heads, but if you head to our website, www.malamala.com,
It was them, it must have been.
and you go and have a look in our game report. There's a section there where we record all of our sites, and you can actually see sightings of records. Kruger, which is a brilliant book about this area. I recommend it to anybody who is interested in this area. But Mala Mala is mentioned just about in every chapter because a lot of their data came from Mala Mala. So if you go onto our website, we're seeing where and get pride compositions and see all the animals that we see here at Mala Mala. There are many, so it's difficult, even for us to keep up with. But yeah, it is recorded and it is on our website. So here's I think this is quite an important, I like Rob. I think this is quite an important question. Where are we? So let me just go down a bit. How much does it cost to go see lions in the wild? I think that's quite important to answer that question. Just because a lot of these animals and a lot of these natural habitats are becoming smaller and smaller. So you can see lions in the wild, and because of it, obviously it comes at a premium. Not to view lions like we are viewing right now. We are able to get right up close to them. You will have to pay, unless you get lucky in one of the public reserves. But to get a more exclusive experience like we are currently showing you here, it would be expensive. And I can't give you an exact price, but it's in, the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a night to visit some of these reserves. But there are public reserves. And the public reserves are a lot cheaper. They are more strict because some of them you can self-drive in. This is a guided experience where you have trained professionals to take you around the reserve and get you up close without disturbing the animals and to provide you with a good experience. Like I said earlier, Kruger National Park is one of those places which we neighbor. Value for money is in and around a lot cheaper. The chances of seeing in some of these is there are the guides on the ground looking for them. That's left up to the guests to look for the animals. And secondly, it's not coordinated. Here we find different animals and we are able to rotate and go from sighting to sighting, whereas it's not all that easy to do that in Kruger. Although, having said that, I know Kruger Later Sightings does give regular updates in the Kruger National Park itself, and you can figure out where those animals are on Kruger Later Sightings. Ideally, we want more of these animals. So with Africa, where there are still many wild places, even the cheapest of these places is pretty much inaccessible to a large portion of the population, which is quite sad, but it is the reality of it. And as rangers, I think all of us just wish that there were larger tracts of land in there that have endemic species roaming around. But I think natural habitats are getting fewer and fewer. And it's got to do with not only the population of humans, but also the consumption. We humans consume a lot. We consume a lot more than what we need. And every single thing that we consume, it doesn't matter what it is, comes from nature somewhere along the line. So just worthwhile bearing that in mind. Okay, so Garrett's going to leave us now. If you hear a vehicle starting, he's going to go and try and find some more game.
Tell me when they get active.
You can actually reply there as Marlo.
Yeah, someone is replying. Folks,
That's me.
okay.
Like this photos.
Oh, right. Okay, so Peter and I are still working this out. Peter's been hiding things from me. He's been replying to you guys in the comment section. I see we can do that as well. If you guys have any other great ideas, please let us know. Have the lions ever killed giraffes or anything huge like a hippo? This pride actually kills giraffes more. I've seen this pride with more giraffe kills than I have any other pride. Yeah, I think larger animals require different techniques to bring down, and once the prides learn how to tackle larger prey, then they become a little bit more efficient at it. And there was about the Eiffel pride, the Mapogos were born into the Eiffel pride. They were also giraffe. They used to. He took us through north of us called Piccadilly. I believe the Styx pride killed a rhino there many years ago. The rhino's name was Pedro. We don't really name our rhinos, but he was unofficially named Pedro. And there is an area in the Sand River right in front of camp now called Pedro's Pub. And if you have a look at our video on YouTube, the video is Nick finds a pangolin and lions have a squabble. Those lions were found at Pedro's Pub. So Pedro was killed by the Styx pride. Have any died while trying to kill a giraffe? Ben, I think there must be quite a few lions who have died trying to kill giraffe. They can stamp on lions with their front legs, they can kick like a horse with their back legs, and were they to connect spine. Okay, Pete's just figuring it out there. Pedro is the name of my dog. Okay, cool. Okay, here's the technical guy, KG1. Case, however, by going 7-2. Oh, okay. KG1, thank you for helping us out. We do not know these technical things, so if you can just help out there, that's great. Have you seen the lone Machapuri male? He was chased or ousted by any chance? Sally is. Please zoom in. How's it looking there, Pete?
I'm zoomed in now.
Okay, Pete's zoomed in there. What do you think the deal is with the Styx pride being so nomadic?
Well, so that all pretty much started when the broke away from the what we call the Martley breakaway pride. So for other, and then the Mangeni pride, other people refer to, well, we refer to as the Martley breakaway pride. So when the Kumbula pride arrived on Mala Mala, 6 young lionesses, the Birmingham males, or as we call them the Gowrie males, were dominant over the Torchwood pride, the Styx pride, the Nkuhuma pride, the Eifield pride. But the Kambula pride then came in and overthrew the Eifield pride, killing at least one of them in the process. So the arrival of 6 young female lionesses caught the attention of the coalition, including Birmingham Voca males, the Machipiri males who were the incumbents at the time. Basically, the Styx pride's deterioration really started after the Gowrie males left them and focused all their attention on the Styx pride, the Nkuhuma pride, and this Torchwood pride all come into very close proximity of each other, and had to give all the way in the western parts of the Sabi Sands, even in the north. I hope that somewhat answers your question.
And I see Nadav's jumping in here, just value adding. Nadav, there's just posted, here's a video of a lion getting kicked by giraffes. So Nadav obviously has a lot of stock of this kind of footage. So that's great, Nadav. Thanks for chiming in there. Samantha, this is not the Nkuhuma Pride. These are members of the Torchwood Pride. Our latest YouTube is uploaded. Let it start uploading before we left for this live stream. I know, Samantha, you follow our channel. So the latest video, we found 10 of the 14 Torchwood lions close to our northern boundary yesterday, and this morning we have found the remainder of them. And there's quite a nice recap of the Torchwood Pride, or a nice chat about the Torchwood Pride and the prides on Mala Mala on our YouTube video. If you want to go have a look at that, please feel free. Okay, so Pete's busy being clever here. And there we go. He's just uploaded a link to that specific video that I was talking about.
So if I need to check if my wife has sent me a message.
Pete is a dad now, so we've got to also just be cognizant of that, and at some point we're going to have to end this live feed. He's got a very young baby, baby boy, might I add. His hair is getting a bit long now, so, but you have a look in our Nick Finds a Pangolin and Lion Squabble video, which was the Gowrie male and single Kambula lioness having great interaction just a couple of days ago. You will see, I think it's that video, but I think you'll see Bit's baby in there, and he's very cute, and I'm sure he wants to go and visit him at some point.
Josie's asking if lions sleep near their prey. Firstly, lions sleep wherever they want to. They don't have any, unless a female has very small cubs, she'll go back to her den. But these lions will basically sleep wherever their heads hit the ground. And there's this this area has got a very high density of animals, so there are actually quite a large herd of, quite a large number of impala and zebra about 150 meters away from where we are now in the open area.
Yeah, there's a few people that are waiting for them to wake up, and you can see the one is busy stretching there. They have been grooming and heads up, and then they lie down and then their heads up. We were hoping that they'd get up and walk around a bit earlier, but right now it doesn't look like they're going anywhere. Okay, we're going to do that live.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, folks, we're going to take a little drive just around the corner here to the area known as Piccadilly Triangle, and that is the same area where Pedro the rhino got killed by the stick. And now they're all stretching. Okay, so here's this Riandi apple. We have a Kruger day today, and our girls watching on a Christmas bed with all their stuffed Kruger animals. That's excellent, guys. Glad to hear it.
Christmas beds are the best.
Beds are the best. On average, how many hours do lions sleep each day? Very many hours. I've heard a number of different averages, and they're usually between 18 and 20 odd hours.
I think the more correct term is not necessarily they're not sleeping, they're resting.
Was this Pedro guy you mentioned who got killed? Okay. Okay, let's clarify that, and then I think we'll be done with that. Okay, so Pedro, here they're getting a little bit more active, but let me tell you the story about Pedro. The successful breeding program at Shishlui Nature Reserve in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. They bred white rhinos, and they got the population numbers up again. And Kruger National Park, who had very low numbers, if any, at that point, actually many of the rhinos that you see today in Kruger National Park were released from Mala Mala. So directly opposite camp is an area called rhino pens, and rhinos are brought in from Shishlui Nature, and they were kept in quarantine on opposite camp, and eventually they were released on Mala Mala and then moved into Kruger. And Pedro was one of the rhinos that used to hang around that area and come and drink almost on a daily basis out of the Sand River just to the south of camp. And that area just to the south of camp is a very rocky section in the river, and it is now referred to as Pedro's Pub, because that's where he liked to go and drink water. Pedro was eventually killed by the Styx Pride in Piccadilly Triangle, which is about 100 meters to our north, and that is the story of Pedro. It was not a human. Our lions most active during the evenings of the day, mostly during the evenings, but in winter we actually witness them hunting during the day very often, because they like to go down to the river. So when it gets a little bit warmer during the day, a lot of prey species have to go down to the river because that's their only water source, and they just wait in the reeds, and while they're waiting there, the prey species come down to drink. They will hunt often during daylight hours. It's very rare for animals to go and drink water at night. So in winter, when it's nice and cool, they'll hunt often during the day, but in summer almost exclusively at night. Not in Kahumas. This is the Torchwood Pride, and not the full complement either.
That's the 4 youngest lionesses from the Tortured Pride, as well as 1 young male. starting to get active. But with lions, you never quite know. They could get up and walk 10 meters and lie down again. But with these being young lions, I say there's a very good chance they're going to start now.
So just a question about the winter here. How cold does it get? And the last few winters have been relatively warm. If you search it on Google, our average minimum temperature is supposed to be 6 degrees Celsius with an average maximum temperature of about 21, 22 degrees Celsius, somewhere there. It's in the mid-20s, mid to low 20s. But this previous winter, the minimum was quite warm. I don't think we got below 10 degrees Celsius much during the nighttime. And then during the daytime, it's very fair weather here, never a cloud in the sky, and low 20s. Folks, we just want to say that we appreciate all of your support and all of the comments coming through. And yeah, since we guided, so it's nice to be back on the horse again and to share what we love doing with other people. How often do the lions hunt? Asking about a time interval. Pete, maybe you want to answer that one?
So, on average, lions will very quickly and will probably start hunting immediately afterwards. But if they oh, look at that sky in the back, beautiful.
There we go. BR Cody stayed in Kruger for 5 nights. Was amazing. Glad to hear that. Thank you for your compliment there, saying the stream is amazing, deserves more views. It's today's first day of streaming. I think you're not 23 degrees Celsius right now at Malo Malo. Yeah, excellent. Also, if they're hungry, why don't they just eat you guys? I don't mean that in a rude way.
Let's see, she's looking at the... So, when the lions see us in these vehicles, they're not seeing humans in a vehicle. They react to these vehicles very differently to how they'd react from if they saw a human just walk out the bushes here. So, growing up, these animals learn from their parents. They would never have ever been taught that this thing that drives around on 4 wheels and makes a noise is something that they need to worry about. It's also not, it's also not something that they can hunt. Well, they're not taught to hunt it. But if I had to stand up or get out of the vehicle, it would be a very different situation.
switched over from Kruger Sightings.
From here the signal's quite bad. Maybe if I was to get into the open more or even around them. A few hundred meters away there were some impalas and zebras. There were also some giraffe a little bit further that way. What these lions might do is if they walk across the road here, or if they walk along the road, it'll be quite easy to, and of course the male will move last. Some damage to the vehicle. Right, folks, the lions are walking through the... Actually, they have a height advantage, but they're also standing on much higher ground now, so there's a very good chance that they will see these lions approaching. Whoa, how beautiful is that scene, folks? Look at that.
There's very little remains of an impala carcass wasted in a marula tree, north of River Road in Bull, just east of entrance, track to the Toomey Rocks. Follow.
That lion is in the distance.
Any questions?
Questions? So, folks, a little bit distracted. James.
Yeah, I've got to.
And you heard Gareth is following up there. Just do such a thing. Don Compton saying fantastic way to spend the afternoon. Thank you, Mala Mala, and thank you, chaps. Very informative, great job. We'll definitely join again tomorrow. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you, Don. We appreciate your support. Yeah, if you want to see more of what we're doing in isolation, you're welcome to go check out our Rangers in Isolation series, which is currently on YouTube, on Mala Mala's YouTube page. When things go back to normal in the world, I plan to visit Kruger Park. Please do. You know, there's a lot of reserves that depend very much.
Station 77, there's currently looks like it's crossing the bridge from west.
Copy, thanks, Jan.
Copy that. I just, it might be a leopard, but from this distance to me, it looks like a big male cheetah. Over.
Copy, thanks, Jan. Folks, you have a cat of sorts crossing a bridge, West Street Bridge.
There's a female leopard at the base of this marula tree with very little remains of impala carcass. It is the Piccadilly female, and she has got sucker marks.
So how's that for exciting news, folks? Gareth has just found a female leopard about 1 kilometer from here. A female known as the Piccadilly female, and she has been very hard to find over the last few months. And in one of our game reports, which you can find on our website, marlamala.com, under the wildlife section, we do speculate that perhaps the reason for this is that she hasn't given birth, and we're proven right.
Yeah. So, Pete, what do you reckon?
Yeah, let's go a bit further. So you can see the one giraffe. Actually, maybe that is. So because of the higher ground that the giraffe were on, so you can see the lions now, bottom left of screen, and you can see the giraffe silhouetted top right.
I see my sister has just joined us, Terry. Says this was fantastic. Thanks, Terry.
In your unbiased opinion, Terry.
In my sister's unbiased opinion. Much appreciated.
So you'll notice how this giraffe is walking towards the lions. Now a lot of people typically just expect the giraffe to immediately run away. One of the reasons they don't just run away is if they just had to suddenly bolt, then suddenly they can't see the lions anymore. So rather have the danger that you can see than the danger that you can't. Once this giraffe has sussed out the situation, I'm sure he might, or she rather, will make a run for it. But it would be quite ambitious of these youngsters to try to take down the giraffe. However, as I mentioned earlier, their pride is quite well known for bringing down giraffe, but that's when they're all together with the adult lionesses, not just these youngsters. Can you imagine we see a giraffe?
Yeah. Okay, so someone here. Who has the Piccadilly female been mating with?
It's an unidentified male.
Okay. So there's just a question here whether it's a Maxim's male.
No.
No, it's not the Maxim's male.
He's the father of the island female's new cub.
Yeah, so as Pete says. Speak Afrikaans for us. I'm assuming you mean Afrikaans.
Het is like 'n meelperd het nou die leeu's gesien en sy, wel, sy het lank al die leeu's gesien, maar sy raak nou 'n bietjie onrustig. Is dit goed genoeg?
Yeah, there we go. It says yes. Okay.
Oh yeah, in fact, the two presenters here are a Van Rooyen and a Van Wyk.
Yeah.
So these lions are still showing interest.
Hi from Greece. It is currently 5:17 here in the afternoon, PM.
Low battery, 20%.
Power point, we don't have the right adapter. Okay.
No, this won't go into it.
No,
Into your phone.
no. It takes that universal one, not that one.
Ah.
Actually, I think it might take. No, it's not the same as an iPhone.
So we're still watching these 5 lions staring at that giraffe in the distance, and just quickly take you back to the scenes around us. Absolutely stunning. And back to the action.
Question, Pete: would these young lions be able to bring down this giraffe?
So technically, yes, they've got the physical capabilities to do it, but I very much doubt that they are experienced enough.
Looks like this one's lost interest really.
When we try and get on that side of them, just like phone's struggling a bit. Just a little bit forward. Sorry, cancel. Further to our north and west. Also, they also might be trying to figure out is whether or not there's a young giraffe with that female.
Is the male lion old enough to roar?
Yes, this male lion is old enough to roar, but it would be a mistake on his part. So you can see that one giraffe just starting to run away. Okay, let's go. Those lions are busy running towards the giraffe, or at least 2 of them were.
Out of here.
The one lion's going.
Okay.
Yeah, the one lion is running in.
Let's go, Pete.
No. You can see it.
Cheetah, a male cheetah, is heading in the road south on New Extension West Street. Over.
Copy, thanks, guys. Okay, where to?
Get on
Not have
somewhere where you can
visual,
just get a clear close shot.
Just going to drop, guys. Over.
Copy, thanks, guys.
Right, so folks, one of those lionesses, one of the young lionesses, did run in on the giraffe, and they went skirtling away. Unfortunately, with this smartphone, it's difficult to pick it up at a distance. But the giraffe did get away, and these lions are going to regroup now. Let's see if they try again for something else. BC, are you watching? Welcome, Brendan Cole and family.
Pete, your wife, I don't know what time you're going to be back again.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Just grab this quickly.
Okay, folks, I'm just going to take over for a second. Pete's just got to use his own smartphone quick. It's
Anti-poaching.
our anti-poaching unit. They've just spotted some habitat is far more suited to leopards than it is to cheetahs. Cheetahs prefer more open plains. But for the most part, this property has got a lot of trees and shrubs and more suited to leopards who like to stalk their prey, as opposed to cheetah who like to run down their prey.
Is my wife with you? Cool. Did she? It should be coming. Phone. Okay, bye. So Sally asking if we've got resident sable living on the property. We do not. So our sable sightings increase quite substantially during the dry winter months. So from July through to November, we actually see sable on quite a regular basis. Herds of, or anything from lone bulls to herds of up to close to 20. Very special sight indeed. Maybe try get. Maybe try just get up ahead of them. One lioness looks like she's going to loop around back here. With the phone, it looks like they're far away. Nikhil asking if trophy hunting is legal on this reserve, and the answer is absolutely not. Lions being playful. One thing that's very special about this part of the reserve, or this part of the world rather, and on Mala Mala Game Reserve in particular, it's not just the fact that you see all these different animals, but it's the environment in which you see them. It adds a lot to the sighting. So see just over this rise coming up, there's some beautiful koppies, some more in the distance. Sunset is mal, eh?
Yeah, they found us a road.
And the rainbow.
And a rainbow.
If you folks can see it on the screen here, it is. Very small rainbow there, just a slither of a rainbow.
Bless you. Back to questions. I think nature reserve is better known than game reserve. Here's a question: what's the biggest pride on Mala Mala?
The biggest pride currently on Mala Mala Game Reserve is called the Kambula Pride, also known in other parts as the Nsebu Pride. And that is a total of 6 lionesses, 14 cubs, and then there are 2 male lions which are dominant over them. So if all of them are together, it's 22 lions. And that is one of at least 7 prides that we see on the reserve. For any of you watching who are familiar with Mala Mala Game Reserve, it must be nice to see that in the background. That is the highest point in this whole area, a kopje known as Twice, or Sitlawaise.
Here's just a question: is Mr. T and Kinky Tails pride out there? So I think you're referring to, those are the old Mapochos, right?
Yeah.
They died a number of years back, but those lions were born into a pride that was very much resident on Mala Mala at the time, called the Ifield Pride. And the Ifield Pride is still on Mala Mala, in the southern parts of Mala Mala. we're looking eastward. I think Pete is currently looking westward towards the sunset.
That is correct. And that lioness is also looking westwards towards something. Something has caught her attention. The other lions, there's a male lying on the road back there. Not sure where the other 3 females are at the moment.
Here's a question: how difficult is it to track without a tracker? Well, we do all track as rangers. That is part of our job description, and you know, we've got a lot of skills, and that it's not just tracking to being a ranger. And some are better trackers than others. So some are better at other skills than others. So, for instance, my technological capability is very limited, as you may have seen from this live stream. Myself and Peter have been trying to figure it out, and the dove has been our help all along. But yeah, we are currently growing our skill set by learning how to film wildlife. A lot of us have taken many still photographs, and we're very much into stills photography, but we are currently making a Rangers in Isolation series here on Malo. See, it's Pete trying to multitask there.
And winning, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
See? Thanks, David. Beautiful shot.
What happened to all the other lines?
Oh, they moved off.
I don't know where they went.
So Proud Boy asking if we don't mean the Sparta Pride. Again, those lions are who we call the Eiffel Pride, and then other people named them the Sparta Pride after that. But yes, the Sparta Pride and the Eiffel Pride are one and the same. And this lioness has just got up. Her fellow Pride members have walked off into the bush over here. As we're sitting here, there's a set of rocky outcrops there known as Campbell Koppies. And again, that beautiful one in the distance there is twice.
So Mrs. Lapwing has just asked us to pan to the male again. Unfortunately, we've lost visual of all of the other lions. So we've currently only got visual of the one lion that's Pete's got in frame there. Pete, I'm going to allow you to backseat drive just this once.
I was going to make a comment about backseat driving.
Is there anywhere you'd like me to go?
So what I think might be happening here is the other lions have moved down into this little valley here, and there's a very good chance that there are some impalas or other prey hidden in the bushes. If any of them do get flushed, they might run towards this lioness here.
For now, is what you're saying.
I think so. When she gets moving, then we'll maybe follow her.
Thanks, guys. I see Shirley, well, there's a few comments that we have missed out on here. We are multitasking at the moment. Our priority right now is just to not interfere with the animals on the ground. So excuse us if we do not respond to your comments whilst we are bringing you this live feed. We are going to try and get to as many of the comments as possible. Who are you? Okay, so this phantom over here, my name is Gareth.
It's Gareth. I'm Peter, and we are both rangers for Mala Mala Game Reserve. If that answers the question.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a question here referring to the Gari males. I think are they in the area? Is Ninya and Tino in the area? So they were, or at least I think we did answer this a bit earlier, but I think they were heard or seen around Rattray's camp, which is one of our camps on Mala Mala this morning. We've been filming other animals, so they are around. We just haven't spent much time with them today.
What did you say?
Okay, is that you are?
Let me just reply quickly. Mind grabbing it?
Yeah, there we go. Okay, thanks. So I'm just taking over from Pete quick. He's got some serious business to attend to there. Pete has a very young baby, and we have been burning the midnight oil here trying to get our Rangers in Isolation videos up on YouTube and editing them, as well as bringing you these live streams, as well as filming, and yeah, as well as just taking care of all the other duties that we need to take care of here. So
Are you fine?
there we go.
Are you fine? Or do you... I can come if you need help with anything. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Okay. Yeah, so okay. Do you need to go back to camp? It is getting to a point now where I don't know whether this is starting to get dark. And my battery's running low.
Yeah, maybe.
Folks, I think we are going to end this live transmission pretty soon. It's been brilliant having you along for the drive. We will try and keep you updated, and we are most certainly in contact with Nadav, and he'll let you all know when we do go live. Nadav, we are getting better at this. Thanks for your patience so far, and good work you're doing on your end to keep these animals coming live to all those people in their living rooms. So from Peter
Good evening, folks.
and myself, we will see you shortly. Stay tuned. And if you want to just go and check up on what we have been doing,
Please don't.
please don't say we got to go. But if you do want to check up what we've been up to, there are a number of videos on YouTube on our series Rangers in Isolation. Maybe that can keep you entertained for a little bit. Otherwise, from here at Mala Mala, stay safe and thank you for your company.